everyone. Thanks for pressing play. You are watching a brand new episode of Talking Comics ExcaliburCCGTV, where every week we get together to tell you about the fantastic comics that are hitting the shelf for that week. We are talking about March 2nd, 2016. I'm Chris. Buzz all the way through and through, head to toe. It's still him, guys. Guys, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Not only in regards to comics, but some other stuff that's going on here locally. Plus, we have a humdinger. I know that's like old school 1950s talk right there. A humdinger of a question of the week for you. But guys, thank you to all of our new subscribers. Thank you to all of our listeners on iTunes and Stitcher. And a special kudos to Brad for doing our graphics for last week whenever we really detailed the DC Rebirth event. We had some people here in store that watched the video and was like, hey, thanks for doing that, man, because I had heard about it. And then when I saw your video, it like really detailed it. So thank you. So guys, that information is last week's video. If you're behind on catching up on the DC Rebirth information, we did a full out section in last week's video. Click on it. You may see it over here to the side or depending on where you are, but just go check it out and get the details on that because a lot of interesting and exciting things are happening with that. But guys, let's go ahead and dive into our announcements. Just mainly one announcement. We are having the in-store comic convention this Saturday, March 5th. And I want to go ahead and go into some detail as to what this is. This is put on by Coliseum of Comics, based out of Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a way for them and for retailers to bring the comic convention experience into your local comic shop via the web.
They will not be here. You can talk to them.
Yeah, we'll be able. Listen, guys, we're gonna have some big screens set up here to broadcast the convention that's going to be going on there, where the actual guests and celebrities will be, and that will be streaming via the web to Excalibur Comics, Cards and Games here in Shreveport. We are doing that here. We're going to have our big screen that's out there in our main store section. In the back of our store, we're clearing out of space, setting up chairs, and having another big screen that people can sit down and watch and enjoy and listen to and watch the panels from all kinds of people. And just to name some of the celebrities and guests that will be there, Nathan Fillion's going to be there. He's going to be streamed. Alan Tudyk. These are guys from Firefly, Serenity, Castle, various other TV shows and stuff, as well as creators like Jim Lee, Dan Didio is going to be there as well. We got Kelly Sue DeConnick, Matt Fraction, just a ton of people that are going to be there. For more information about this, be sure and click the link down below if you're local for our event page, because we want to know if you're coming, and then you can get even more information about that. Kevin White from the Geeks of Comedy, he's hosting all this stuff, or a lot of this stuff. I guess it's going to be like the MC. So any particular artists or creators that you're wanting to see and be able to interact with this?
No.
Not a single one.
No, it's cool that Jim Lee's going to be there and Fraction and yeah.
I mean, seriously, Rick. Let's see. Let's go through. We got Marguerite Bennett, Rick Remender, Randy Stradley, who's an artist, done tons of covers and stuff. Jim Zub, Skull Kickers fame, Dan Jurgens. I mean, these are just some of the ones that we know of that have been announced. Jimmy Palmiotti. So, guys, and what we'll be able to do is whenever they're doing their panels or their interviews, we will be able to interact with them via social media. We'll be able to tweet them or Facebook them and ask them a question on behalf of anybody in our store and hopefully get that question answered live. So if you come and you're seeing Kelly Sue DeConnick and she's live on screen and you're like, Kelly Sue, what product do you use to dye your hair? We can ask that question for you, probably. And
Kool-Aid, I'll save you all the trouble.
Just Kool-Aid isn't. She's basic like that. But we'll be able to ask questions and interact with them live via the web. There's also going to be some in-store exclusives related to the event. That's going to be going on. And then usual business going on here as well, here at the comic shop. So you'll be able to come and go all day long. It's going to be all day that Saturday from opening to close. So you'll be able to participate and see what's going on. So guys, There was some confusion on our event page that some people thought it may have come across that these people are actually going to be here at our store. They're not going to actually be here in person. They're going to be here live via webcast. And there's tons of retailers that are going on. For more information specifically about who's going to be there at the convention, go to conventionkickoff.com. And this will highlight, it will have all kinds of information about what's going on there, including retailers that will be participating. So if you're not local to us and you're watching this and you want to see what's going on, they have a breakdown of state and everything of everybody that's going to be participating in this in-store Comic Convention 2016. And there may be somebody close to you, a retailer close to you is going to be doing this as well if you're not local to us. Does that clarify it? I think that kind of clarifies it.
I never had a doubt in my mind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I like this guy. We're going to keep him around. So, guys, there we go. And if you have any questions about it, if you're local or anybody that's watching this, if you have any questions about it, leave us a question down in the comment below. Excuse me, in the comments below, and we will try to answer them to the best of our ability. We don't want you to be left out of this fun if that's something that you're wanting to participate in, especially if somebody's doing it local to you guys. So, guys, that's it. That's the in-store comic convention for March 5th, 2016. Have fun with that. Moving on to some new number ones. We got some big ones. We got some big number ones that are coming out this week, and we're looking forward to. Buzz, what are we starting off with, sir?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, #1 from Boom Studios by Kyle Higgins and Hendry Prasetyo.
Sure.
Maybe.
Why not?
I don't know. This is the Green Ranger, year 1. Fresh. Tommy is fresh off being under Rita Repulsa's control, and he has now joined the Power Rangers as a good guy now. And he's still struggling with the mind control stuff. And anyway, Green Ranger is one of the most popular Rangers there was. So
really?
Yeah, for real. And I'm assuming that's why they're doing a year 1 of them now.
Yeah, I guess so too.
But there's also a Bulk and Skull backup story in there by Steve Orlando, who wrote Midnighter.
Yep.
And they're on the ultimate mission to impress Kimberly and Trini.
There we go, guys.
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We've already got news about the movie. They've already cast like almost everybody.
Issue 0 came out a couple of months ago too.
Yeah, we've had people asking about that.
That was
ever
a hard
since.
to find book, apparently.
Yeah. So there we go, guys. I hope you've pre-ordered it because I'm gonna go out and just say there's gonna be tons of reprints, multiple editions of #1s. I think there's several variant covers. I don't know what is involved in all the variant cover stuff that's gonna be going on with #1 here. But boom, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers still going strong, man. People still love it and want it. So there we go. Have fun with that, guys. Moving on to some Marvel stuff. Black Widow #1 from Mark Waid and Chris Samnee, the excellent creative team that brought us the last 2 volumes of Daredevil. Yes, yes, yes. Natasha is now S.H.I.E.L.D's most wanted. She spent years gathering secrets, and one of the darkest ones that she has becomes public. No one is safe. Now she's on the run from S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's going to use all of her talents, abilities that she's acquired over the years to try to stay ahead of the game as the chase is on now to get her and find out what this secret is, what happens, how it affects everybody. And I'm so looking forward to this. This has been on my pull list like before they even announced it. I mean, it's like as soon as they announced it and we didn't even have a published date, I was like, hey, add this to my list. I want to see what Waid and Samnee are going to do with this because I love what they did with Daredevil. So there we go, guys. Black Widow #1.
Also from Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man and Silk SPIDERFLY Effect #1 by Robbie Thompson and Todd Knock. Spider-Man and Silk aren't necessarily pals, but they've got no choice to work together when they're thrown back in time just before they got their powers. Now they got to get along while stopping a threat to the timeline without accidentally wiping out their own powers.
What?
Yeah. It's a tale of amazing and necrostic arachnids. My jaw popped open. Yeah.
This was like a digital first for Marvel, the Infinite Comic series. So now they're collecting it, I guess, based on the popularity of it.
The first 2 chapters.
Yeah, there we go. So guys, if you haven't seen, this is nothing that's been This has only been done online before, so now they're going to collect it for you guys because Lord knows there's tons of Spider-Man fans out there. Moving on, guys, from Dark Horse, Predator Life and Death by Dan Abnett and Brian Tice. This takes a look at the Colonial Marines on the planet Tartarus as they are battling extraterrestrial hunters over possession that horseshoe-shaped spaceship of unknown origin. But while this is going on, these Colonial Marines are also attacked by a band of predators. They did not get training for that in the Marine Corps. I'm here to tell you that. So, guys, there we go. All of you Predator fans, and tying into more of the more recent mythology behind all this stuff. Boom. There we go, guys. Check it out.
From Dynamite, Army of Darkness, Furious Road, #1. 20 years from now, the Deadites and their Army of Darkness have succeeded in bringing down Western civilization. An unexpected upshot of demons taking over was supernatural species such as vampires, witches, and werewolves, forming an uneasy alliance with humanity in order to survive. The only hope for both mankind and monsters alike is a ritual that will send the Deadites back to the hell that birthed them. But first, a ragtag crew that includes Frankenstein's monster and Eva, the daughter of Dracula, have to track down the fabled spellbook known as the Necronomicon, Ex Mortis, and deal with its guardian, a certain Ashley Williams? I was wondering when he was going to come in there. I'm like, is he not even?
I know, he's like, is he even part of this book? What's going on with that? Yeah. Did you watch any of the TV series?
The whole series?
Oh, man, it was crazy insane, man. Yeah. Crazy insane.
They did a good job with that.
I love the whole concept of teaming up with Frankenstein's monster, Eva, the daughter of Dracula, and all that stuff. I love that. I love those kind of mishmashes and things like that, and the whole threat being all the Deadites.
Wishes and werewolves.
Exactly. Go. So, guys, a couple more to wrap this up. From Dynamite Comics, we have Vampirella Volume 3, #1, hitting this week, written by Kate Leth, with art by Iman Casalos. We get to take a look at Vampirella as she goes on basically a Hollywood-type action adventure, classic demon hunting, monster slaying. She's a thrill-seeking vampire queen with this new issue that's being told. Also, the question is, can Vampirella be both a cult icon on the rise and take down an empire of ghouls and ghosts? They think so, yes. So there we go, guys. All you Vampirella fans. It's going to be a different take from what I've seen from the art and everything. More of a... It kind of reminded me of the what they did with like a modernizing of Batgirl from DC Comics. So it might be a little bit like that. I don't know specifics, but it appears that way.
She survived the Aliens crossovers.
So there we go. So here we go. Now she's a Hollywood icon, apparently. Yeah. And one I am particularly interested in as well is The Discipline, #1, from Image Comics by Peter Milligan and Leandro Fernandez. These guys teamed up here recently at Vertigo Comics with The Names, and now they're doing their own creator-owned series here with Image Comics. This takes a look at a character by the name of Melissa, who is kind of wayward, but she falls in lust with a stranger who has an awful lot more going on than what he lets on. And what appears to be simple seduction that's going on is revealed later to be something much more darker and dangerous. And this is going to be an adults type book, but it takes a look at everything through a very controversial and erotically charged lens. We got sex, death, and metamorphosis involved with this, and there's probably going to be a little bit of weirdness. But if any of you guys read Peter Milligan's previous stuff, and if you read The Names, you kind of saw what was going on with that. So there we go, guys. The Discipline #1 from Image Comics, something to check out. So those are our new #1s that we're covering for this week, guys. We do have one storyline that's going on this week with Avengers Standoff Assault on Pleasant Hill Alpha #1 from Marvel by Nick Spencer and Jesus Cias. And let me say, the preview pages for this by Jesus look freaking amazing. I've seen Jesus' work over the years for DC and Marvel and different things. This looks like his best stuff to date. I mean, this could really put him on the map. So I'm really looking forward to this. But we could take a look at this small town community that hides a deadly secret. And it looks like Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson will have to get back together to save a friend in danger and put things right. It looks like Bucky, the Winter Soldier, might be off doing his own thing and causing this ruckus that will reunite Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers as friends for what's going on here. This is the prelude stuff leading up to Civil War, and the changes are going to be happening to Steve Rogers as well. So, there we go, guys. Do not miss out on this. Nothing from DC this week, man. You know? It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got a bunch of new #1s coming out pretty soon.
I know. It was like last week was all DC storyline stuff. This week you just got the Marvel. So there we go, guys. That's what's going on with the storylines, guys. Our favorites. These are the comics that will be at the top of our stack. The first things that we read. Buzz, what is up for you, sir?
Nova number 5. And this will see the return of Nova's father. Or is it?
Oh, interesting.
If you've been reading the book, you know that his dad was in the first issue. Or was he?
Or was he? I love it.
Next up, we got Old Man Logan number 3.
Nice.
You know, old people, they wander into places they shouldn't be. Well, Old Man Logan wanders into Hawkeye's apartment.
Say.
But Clint Barton is not there.
Ah.
It is the other Hawkeye, the
Bishop.
young Kate Bishop. Yes.
Ah.
And she is not real thrilled to see him and meets him with a bow and an arrow.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
He's used to that.
Yeah. In Uncanny Avengers number 6, this looks like kind of a one standalone issue here. It's got a tale of Deadpool and Quicksilver going on an adventure together. What could go wrong?
What kind of a
It
team
just
up?
looks like a fun issue. The cover's like, what is going on? Yeah.
Oh my god, I can only imagine how much Deadpool's going to get on his nerves. Because he's already cocky and arrogant as
yeah.
it is, you know. So guys, for me, The Violent, number 3 from Image Comics, a book by Ed Brisson. We can take a look at this as Mason, the main character here, spirals further and further out of control. We see more bodies pile up. He's still looking for the missing child that happened in the first issue. Also, we get Invincible Iron Man number 7. Been digging this series so far, and even with the artistic change to Mike Diodato coming on board, I'm really enjoying it still. And I'm surprisingly enjoying Mary Jane Watson being a part of this book in the capacity that she's being used in it. So there we go. War Machine and Iron Man team up to stop a brand new threat to the Marvel Universe. And Mary Jane Watson. That sells it for me. And guys, another book that I've been really digging that you should check out from DC, the Vertigo line, is Sheriff of Babylon. Number 4 hits this week by Tom King and Mitch Gerads. This is a fantastic look at like the whole entire Middle East situation with this one guy, this Chris, the security officer over there that's trying to train these Middle Eastern people to govern themselves, to police themselves. But now there's a mystery involved here with the murder that's going to happen. And Chris is kind of a part of it, kind of not. He's not even aware of what's going on all around him, but he's trying to find out the truth as to what's going on. Now, I've been pleasantly surprised by this series and continue to check it out. So there we go, guys. Those are some things that I'm checking out. And Buzz as well for our favorites. Tell us in the comments below some of your favorites that you're really looking forward to. We want to know what you got going on. Tons of stuff to be checking out.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for our question of the week. With the success of Deadpool, which has been, it's like one of the highest grossing X-Men movies ever out of all the X-Men movies they put out.
I think it is.
Some places are reporting it is the highest grossing.
I'm not surprised.
You know, I'm not sure exactly how they're tabulating that, but several sources have said that. It's like the biggest,
R-rated movie.
R-rated movie to ever launch.
It beat, what was it? The Shades of Grey or whatever.
50 Shades of Grey, is that what it was?
I think that was the number 1 there for a minute, but then Deadpool jumped right in and knocked it out.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like the highest opening for a February launch ever. And it had a couple of other things that it did. But guys, you know, this is a rated R superhero movie. And it broke all kinds of records. Sequels in the works. Things are going on. Ryan Reynolds is like committed to this, plus committed to getting other X-Men characters on the screen as well with the success of this movie. And since that has happened, we've heard several different reports of other superhero movies wanting to go or looking at going the R-rated route with their next movie, like with Wolverine, the next Wolverine movie with Hugh Jackman. They're looking at an R rating for that. And then on top of that, the movie hasn't even come out yet, but Batman vs. Superman is going to be PG-13 on the screen, but they're going to have a home edition or a director's cut version of it that's going to be rated R that you'll be able to get on DVD and Blu-ray when that releases. So now there's like this push, it seems, for superhero movies to be taken up a notch. Whether, I don't know if it's just language or it's just the crassness, the adult nature of it all, the action, whatever. So that looks like it's becoming a thing. That's our question for you this week. What do you think about superhero movies being R-rated? Buzz, what you think?
I'm tired of seeing in my Facebook news feed about, oh, there's an R-rated superhero movie, and then they're like, well, let's make Wolverine R-rated now. Let's make Superman. Like, Wolverine, he kind of pushes the envelope with his character. Deadpool for sure pushes the envelope. Superman, Batman do not push the envelope. I don't know why they're bothering with an R. I mean, I don't know what they could do to make it R-rated that would make sense. But, I mean, Deadpool, I was all for it being R-rated. The Punisher, all for it being R-rated. Because those are adult characters that shoot people with guns.
Exactly.
I mean, they are adult-themed characters. And, I mean, it makes sense. But, like, I mean, just talking out their rear end about whatever, you know, being R-rated, I'm just like, don't make something R-rated just to make it R-rated.
Right.
You know? I mean, if it makes sense, like, they were talking about a possible X-Force movie. And making it R-rated. And that could be because they were like a covert team that assassinated people, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, you know,
yeah.
I could definitely see an Archangel throwing blades into people. That would be awesome.
Nice. Making
it R-rated. But Superman, Batman, why?
Yeah, that... I mean, I guess they'll be playing it smart by just making that with the director's cut, Blu-ray, you know, for the big screen, PG-13. Right. But yeah, man, honestly, and I had seen someone, when the news was announced that Wolverine was, like, the next one may be R-rated, a guy posted on, like, Facebook, he was like, well, it makes total sense. Do you think he tickles people with his claws? I mean, you know, we're talking about somebody attacking you with knives on his hands. It's not going to be pretty when it happens and it goes down. I can totally see that. Yeah. One thing that I did see, somebody posted on Facebook, and it was basically a fan-made mock-up or a fan-made movie poster for what the studio should be as their next Deadpool, and that would be Tommy Monaghan, Hitman. From DC Comics. He was like, here, DC, this is going to be your Deadpool. And it was like a fan-made movie poster of Hitman, Tommy Monaghan.
That would be awesome.
You know, so it's like there is room for that with characters, but don't do it just to do it. I mean, there's some characters that make sense for.
It almost seems like they're just wanting to do R-rated just because Deadpool did it, and it was so successful. An R rating is not going to make your movie more successful just because it's R-rated.
No. I mean, there's so many factors involved there. Mm-hmm. This Deadpool is such a unique character in this whole thing. 10 years to get this movie made. Mm-hmm. You know, and then Ryan Reynolds, who people loved to see him as originally when he was in that, and then they jacked it all up with that Wolverine movie. They jacked them all up, and then everything else involved. I mean, there's so many contributing factors and stuff that are at play here for this. It's not going to be a repeatable or a duplicatable blueprint for every character. There are select characters that, yes, this would work for. And honestly, if they go the old man Logan route for the next Wolverine,
I'm all for that.
I want it to be R. I want to see some slicing and dicing.
Some guts.
Yes, seriously, because if you know that story, then you know there's blood that has to be shed.
And like Lobo, he could be an R-rated movie. Suicide Squad could be an R-rated movie. It may be an R-rated movie.
It's going to be PG-13 for the big screen.
See, that could be an R-rated movie because the characters in that are villains.
Exactly.
Every one of them are villains. So that could legitimately be an R-rated movie, and I would not be surprised.
And that's a great point. That's a great point. Especially Lobo.
Harley Quinn, Joker, I mean, they're all... And this Joker's way throwed off looking, it looks like.
Yes, exactly. So yeah. So guys, R-rated superhero movies, should there be? Should there not be? What characters do you think should be? Or what stories, if they were told, do you think should be R-rated? Go from there, guys. We want to know because honestly, I would not be surprised if in 2017 and 18, we have a deluge of just R-rated, all this stuff, you know, and that's just how Hollywood rolls. They find something that's successful, and then, oh my God, all of a sudden everything's got to be like that. So
also, the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie is the first R-rated comic book.
Is it? I think you're right.
If I'm wrong, correct me. But I see people posting like The Crow and Blade and stuff like that. It's the Punisher.
Yeah, because that was
89.
Exactly. So yeah, they did that a long time ago. But guys, tell us in the comments below what you think about R-rated superhero movies, R-rated comic character movies that we're familiar with, and you know that we see and read, especially like from the big two from Marvel and DC. What you think about that in the comments below. And all of our local people, do not miss the info. Do not miss the link down below to tell us you're coming to our in-store comic convention that we're doing here. We're planning on having a great day and having tons of fun with that. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and tell us what you're reading, what new #1s you're checking out. If you saw Deadpool, tell us below. Let's have a conversation about it. We want to know your thoughts.
Have you seen it?
Have I?
I have.
Anything else to add, sir?
No.
No? That's it? That's a wrap?
Come to the convention.
Yes, come to the in-store comic convention. And guys, if you're not local to us, check out their website, conventionkickoff.com, to find out where someone near you is doing it, and you can be a part of it as well. And that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Read some great comics. Leave us some comments down below, and we will see you in our next video. Take care. Bye-bye.